What's up, guys? My name is Gabe and welcome back to the Trojan Blade. Welcome back to a brand new video. It is time to make the official record prediction here on the channel, which of course means that it's the month of July. Football is thankfully right around the corner, and it won't be long at all, and our Trojans will be taking the field August 30th against Missouri State. And guys, before we get into it, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are enjoying the content. And if you do want to help support the channel in a much bigger way, the Trojan Blade Patreon is the best way to do that. That is linked down below in the description. You'll see your name in each and every video, and there will be bonus content coming to the Patreon members as well. So thank you guys so much for being here. Now let's get into it. All right, first off, the aforementioned game against Missouri State. This is their first game as an FBS team, a phenomenal way for us to play a lower tier opponent, but still have it fall under the FBS opponent tier, so we keep that streak going as being the only team to not play a lower division school. The goal here has to be come out and absolutely dismantle them, because we need Hassan Longstreet to get as many reps as possible in this game. So I'm obviously going to predict a win. If it's not a big win, then something went terribly, terribly wrong. And if God forbid we lose this game, it's a tarmac one for Lincoln. Week 2, September 6th, Georgia Southern, Clay Helton back in the LA Coliseum. Goes without saying, if we lose this game, not only does Lincoln need to be fired, the entire program needs to be torn down to the studs. I'm trying to imagine a world where Clay Helton comes into the Coliseum and beats us, what this fan base will be like. Because, oh my God, that would be absolute Armageddon. Do I see a world where we lose this game? No. This is another one where we need to handle our business early, let Hassan Longstreet come in and get some meaningful reps, and not just hand the ball off, actually run the offense, throw the ball downfield. But yeah, if we don't start out 2-0, heads need to roll. Game number 3, the conference opener at Purdue. In terms of a conference opener, this is as friendly as you're going to get. The Big Ten did us a big favor here. It's also going to be a daytime kick. This is not going to be a nighttime snake pit game. So the first conference game is against probably the worst team in the league this year. It's also the first road game. We get a chance to exercise those road demons against the worst team, which really, really helps. You're not playing at Michigan or Oregon or Ohio State or something crazy. Great chance to get that first true conference road win. Is there a world where USC loses this game? It's conference play on the road, so yeah, obviously, if we could lose to Maryland last year, we could for sure lose this one. But definitely do not see that happening. I have us starting 3-0. And then we return home to the Coliseum, and this has to be a rivalry game. Trojans against Spartans, Michigan State in the Coliseum, September 20th. There's a bunch of different names you could come up with for this rivalry. Something really, really cool for the trophy, like a Greek helmet, maybe a sword. I have no idea, but something cool like that. Anyways, I do believe Jonathan Smith is trending this program in the right direction. Big believer in him, big fan of Aiden Childs. Just don't see us losing this game. Again, like every conference game in the Big Ten, any team can beat anybody. That's just how this league works. But I do have us beating Michigan State. Don't know if it'll be handily. Maybe something like a 27-20, 31-24, something like that. And then the next game, this is a doozy. This is going to be a very, very tough game. Playing at Illinois against the Fighting Illini. That crowd is going to be absolutely juiced for this one. It's going to be a sellout. It's going to be crazy loud. Is this going to be a big noon game? Is this going to be a night game? A lot of potential for this just to be a massive, massive game. And this is where I have USC suffering our first loss of the year. I mean, this is just such a stereotypical slip-up spot for us. Going on the road at a raucous environment against a very physical team, knowing USC the way we do, we usually don't win these kinds of games. Whether it's against Utah or a team like Oregon State, we're going to slip up somewhere, and it makes a lot of sense for this to be that spot. So heading into the first bye week, I do have us 4-1 with that loss at Illinois. And then October 11th, we return home to the Coliseum to play Michigan. I'm going to be at this game. Cannot wait to be back in the Coliseum. And that game last year was such a heartbreaker. It was so emotional. I have never seen such a disgusting officiating performance in my entire life. That's still going to be on our players' minds, on our coaches' minds. I think we're going to have an incredibly inspired performance against a true freshman quarterback, and I think we're going to win this game. This quote could age terribly, but I'm going to say it anyway. Bryce Underwood does not scare me. Very talented kid, no doubt, but I'm going to trust D'Anton Lynn to give this kid absolute fits. And yeah, not worried about him one bit in the Coliseum against our defense. Next up after that, we play at Notre Dame in South Bend. Frankly, there's no way I'm picking us to win this game until I see us win in South Bend. It's been so long. I've been burned so many times. Not going to do it. Notre Dame has earned that respect. We have to win in South Bend. Plain and simple. Not going to assume anything. And things could flip in the span of a year. But guys, they just went to a national title. They're a better program right now. We're not going to be favored in this game. So yeah, I have us losing in South Bend as well. So that takes us into the second bye week at 5-2 with losses to Illinois and Notre Dame. Then we come back out of that bye week and we play at Nebraska in Lincoln. Really want to get out for this game as well. That's going to be a phenomenal atmosphere. Always wanted to see a game there. And after watching him last year, I am about as low on Dylan Raiola as anyone is. I don't see it. So I do have us winning at Nebraska. I do think it's going to be a close game, maybe even a classic game. I really like the fact that we have that bye week in between the Michigan-Notre Dame game before we play at Nebraska. Because at Illinois is going to be a dogfight no matter if we win or lose. And then we have that first bye week, and then we play Michigan and Notre Dame. Those games are going to be extremely physically taxing. And then off of that break, we play at Nebraska. I really like how that part of the schedule sets up. Thinks it gives us a good chance to be rested before we head to Lincoln. Next up, we return home to play Northwestern. If we lose to Northwestern, now I know we said the same thing last year about Maryland and Minnesota, so who knows, I guess. But if you lose on home turf to Northwestern, that is close to a fireable offense in my opinion. So I obviously have us winning this game. Don't see a world where we lose. I mean, it's Northwestern. What more needs to be said? Next up, November 15th, another home game, this time against the Iowa Hawkeyes. I do not like this matchup defensively for Jaden Maiava. This is a very confusing defense, a very aggressive defense, and when they get their hands on the ball, they catch it. They catch a lot of interceptions, make a lot of play on the ball. I think it's going to be a very low-scoring game. I think our defense is going to shut them down as well. But I just don't trust us with the turnovers, and I think we're going to drop this one. Again, very low scoring, 14-10, 17-14, something like that. But this does seem like a slip-up spot for me, and I do have us losing against Iowa. Next up, November 22nd at Oregon, a massive game, obviously. Now, quite simply, these are the kinds of games that Lincoln Riley has not proven to be able to win at USC. On the road, at a big-time opponent, very talented team, very raucous atmosphere. So until he proves to me that he can win these games, because to be honest, I'm not that worried about Oregon as a team itself. I'm not that big of a Dante Moore fan. Between both the injuries and the departures, the wide receiving core is a lot worse than it was last year. So if we come out early in the year and look really good and we win that game at Illinois, my pick in this game would change. Or if we win at South Bend, it would change as well. I just need to see it before I believe it, because like we all know, since Lincoln Riley has been at USC, we don't win big, true road games. So with this schedule playing out the way I have it, with the loss to Illinois, with the loss at South Bend, in this scenario, I don't think we would buck the trend and win at Oregon. So hopefully that makes sense. I know there's going to be some of you crying that I don't have USC going 12-0. Unfortunately for that crowd, we just use common sense on this channel. So if you want to be told that USC's perfect and we're never going to lose another game, there are channels that do that, not this one. And finally, to finish the year, we play the Baby Bruins. We are going to win this game. We are not going to lose to them as long as Deshaun Foster is the head coach. That is a running back coach that is being allowed to run a Power 2 program. Don't care what they're doing in recruiting. That's not going to affect this year. He's literally a running back coach. That is the full extent of his job experience. And yeah, we're not going to lose at home to them. Not with D'Anton Lynn, not with this defense, not with Lincoln Riley calling plays. No chance in hell. So yeah, I do have USC finishing the year 8-4. Obviously, if there's a bunch of injuries, or if Hassan Longstreet is named the starter, that's going to change how I pick some of these games. So I am going to give myself that out that if something drastic happens, that I can come back and amend this. But as of right now, I do have it at 8-4. Is that going to be enough to keep the fan base happy? I've said it before, I really think it matters how it looks more than anything. And guys, make sure you're following me both on Instagram and Twitter, because as you see on your screen, I dropped a little thing here on Twitter asking people to drop a few of their record predictions, and I am going to feature a few of those now. My man Nick says 9-3, could absolutely see that happening. My man Nuke, aka the best editor in the game, says 10-2 with losses at ND and Oregon. We're playoff bound. I could see that happening as well. The funny thing with this team and this year, we could be 6-6, we could be 11-1, and I would not be surprised either way. There's so much unknown with this team. How are things going to mesh? Is Jaden Maiava going to take that next step? That really what we're doing is just guessing based off what we saw last year. So 10-2 and making the playoffs would not surprise me. My man Troy from the Troy Talk podcast, make sure you guys follow him on Twitter and on YouTube as well. He says 8-4, agrees with me on that record. My man Michael on Twitter says 8-4, but the saddest 8-4. Now, I know exactly what you mean, Michael, because if we're 8-4, but we get blown out in South Bend, we get blown out in Eugene, we lose a stupid game we shouldn't, we lose to Illinois, this season's just going to feel like a big kick in the crotch. Because honestly, we need to have those big wins. If we're going to lose to those big opponents, it has to be extremely close and we have to be competitive. So I know exactly what you mean by the saddest 8-4. That would be a really hollow feeling going into next year if that happened. And finally, Sam from College Football was saying, make sure you guys are subscribed to him on YouTube. He says 11-1, 8-1 in conference play. He's extremely optimistic about the Trojans. And God, Sam, I hope you are right, absolutely. Now, for this to happen, Jaden Mayava is going to have to be an elite player at the quarterback position, or Hassan Longstreet, whichever one of them ends up starting the majority of the games. But if our defense is just that good, then this really wouldn't be at all surprising to me. But guys, I know you are going to sound off in the comment section. Some of you are going to be furious at me for saying 8-4. Some of you are going to agree. Some of you are just going to have different opinions. Let me know any and all thoughts you have about our record down below in the comment section. Give me the overall record. Give me your game-by-game predictions. I am going to be down in the comment section as soon as this video goes live. So make sure you guys sound off. I would love to hear from you. And guys, if you did happen to enjoy this video, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you guys so much for all the support. You're all awesome. And as always, take care and fight on.